Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So well into the garden wall now, on the right hand side, the top of the first pass. So you can probably see I'm stitching a little bit differently today. Usually my diagonals go from the lower left to the upper right, and I've got kind of like a V shape here, sideways V shape I guess, because this yellow color just naturally went this way, and I decided to stop fighting it and go with it. So yeah, it's a little different. I'm still trying to stitch sort of along the edges of what's already established, although they're not all necessarily in the same direction. So does close in stitches a little bit, but I figure it's sort of a natural break in the pattern that way because of the way the colors are shaped. So I'm not too concerned about it. Yeah, I've done before where I've kind of tried to keep forcing it to go the other way, even though the colors go this way, and gets to be a lot of work. So it slows me down, and I'd rather get a little more done if I can. So yeah, that's why I'm doing that. Like I say, I like to adapt my method to the pattern and not force the pattern to go to my method. So yeah, it's a little bit out of order. Eventually, sort of once I get past these this part of the pattern, it's going to go back into my normal way of stitching. So yeah, unfortunately we had a reprieve from the there, just get a little more light here, from the wildfire smoke, but it is back again. So yeah, even with my my drapes open, the light is a bit muted. So I had to turn my crafting lamp on. Yeah, even with that haze out there though, I still managed to get sunburned. Unfortunately. Yeah. I knew better. I should not spend any significant time outside without sunscreen on. I burn so easily. So I'm not too bad. Like, it's not painful. It's just a little red and kind of warm to the touch, but at least it doesn't hurt. So, because yeah, I've had severe ones before where your clothes touch you is agonizing, and thankfully it's not that bad. But yeah, like I said, those UV rays can still get through that that haze if you. I spent a couple hours outside yesterday, so kind of paying for that now. I knew better. Like I said, I was kind of lazy to put on sunscreen, and I know better. I really should know better by now. I just think about the sun and I burn, so yeah. Yeah, my husband and our son are luckier than me. They don't burn it nearly anywhere as easily as I do. I remember one year I was so upset. We went to the beach and I was using like the highest, you know, amount of SPF I could get. So yeah, so as you can see, I'm going to end up with some threads sort of going in different directions here, I think. I'm just going to sort of skip around a bit. So anyway, we went to the beach and I was using like SPF 50, which was the highest I could get. And I was reapplying it like every time I came out of the water. I must have put sunscreen back on like 6 or 7 times that day. And I still burned. I was so mad. Yeah. The sun and I are just not friends. Yeah, my sister, she can tan, but not me. I'm trying to remember if my sister ever really got a sunburn when we were growing up. Okay, so yeah, the colors are kind of going in sort of, as you can see, they're kind of slanting the other way. although within they're kind of going. So yeah, I'm going to be stitching all over the place in weird ways today. So I was so frustrated. A couple days ago, I sat down to make a video, and I even made a nice long one. So it was like 90 minutes. And then I went to turn off my camera and it was already off, and I thought, what's going on? And yeah, I somehow managed to get it in slow motion mode again, so it was all unusable. I was very annoyed. So here we go again. Yeah, I don't know why. I always check, but it seems every few months I manage to do that again, so. Oh well, it kind of had issues. I had the camera a little too close to my fabric and I kept bonking it with my hands, so I guess maybe it's better I've got to remake a video for you all. Oh dear. Oops. Yeah, as I say, this is a very professional operation, right? Oh my gosh. So yeah, we are past 8.5%. So 10% is definitely looking doable now. Okay, so yeah, I am sort of going a little bit out of order here. It does close in a bit, but that's okay. I'm still trying to not skip around and leave too many gaps. I'm still trying to grow out, like I said, from the existing stitches that are there on the fabric. So yeah, like I've said, I've seen some where people they stick to their diagonal so strictly, but I don't have the discipline for that. Yeah, I can even tell you what direction the sun was coming in because my my right upper arm and the right side of the back of my neck are more burned than on the left, so yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, sort of once a summer I do this to myself, and then I'm kicking myself and saying, remember last time you said you were never going to do that again? Or somehow I often seem to miss a spot when putting on sunscreen. So I'll be fine, and then the one spot is, yeah, beet red the next day. So I can tell you the sunscreen definitely works, because everywhere I applied it, it was fine, yeah. Oh. Yeah, so my husband had to go out of town for the week, having to drive through all this smoke, and it's hard to plan his route because he said there'll be conflicting information. The Canada wildfire tracker won't, oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, silly me. Anyway, he said the wildfire tracker website and the Google Maps won't match, and he doesn't know which one to trust. Yeah, which one gets, because Google Maps will often warn you when there's a road closure, but sometimes they're wrong. The last time he had to go there to do some work, yeah, they said that it wasn't closed, and when he got there, yeah, there was a big detour, and it just sort of directed you off the highway and didn't sort of tell you how to get anywhere. He said, yeah, good thing for GPS, or I would have been lost. Yeah, and unfortunately flying wasn't an issue, or it wasn't an option, I should say, because he has equipment he has to take to install. Yeah, so it's not just him who has to get there, it's a bunch of equipment too. So yeah, what should be a 10-hour drive, he's thinking is going to take probably at least 12. Hopefully not more, but might even take up to 15, so blah. Yeah. I mean, we do 15-hour drive when we go to visit family, but yeah, it's tiring. Yeah, and then he says he has only a limited number of days to get the work done because there was no more hotel rooms. So he's got 3 nights, and for the 4th night, everything is booked. So he said, I guess I gotta finish. Oh, within that time frame. Yeah, it's been really busy because, of course, he couldn't go anywhere during, when things were more locked down for the pandemic. And then, yeah, now that things are sort of opening up again, everything that was put off until later is all happening now. So, yeah, and then with these wildfires, it's not making anything easier, that's for sure. Okay, 30, 47. Yeah, I've been blasting through this color here. This is sort of the main color along these pillars, along this curve here of these pillars, yeah. Like I said, there's been a lot of bigger blocks of color this month, so that has really helped me work towards my monthly goal. So I'm probably going to sort of work out to here and continue working down and then come back up. We'll see. Just from looking at the pattern, that's what I estimate. I sort of see as I continue to work. I adjust as I go. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still trying to not close stuff in as much as I can. And again, I generally don't cross as I go, but when these are 1 stitch wide runs of color, I find that crossing as you go does make it a little bit neater. When it's more stitches next to each other in a row, I find it doesn't make that much of a difference, but yeah, for these skinnier runs of color, it does. Got that. So fuzzy. There we go. Yeah, at least I didn't burn as bad as last year. My son was running in a triathlon, so he was with some buddies, so they each took 1 leg of it. So one of them did the swimming, one of them did the bike riding, he did the running. And I did put on sunscreen, but I missed a spot, and oh my gosh, it burned lobster red, hurt so bad. And then when it got out of that, burning painful stage, actually, I'm gonna do this one here since it's up against this edge. Yeah, something kind of has to get closed in here, but that's okay. So, but anyway, yeah, once it settled down, that tan wouldn't go away for like 9 months. It was wild. I had to buy myself some loofah mitts and give myself a good scrub every shower, and even then it still took weeks. Yeah, it was wild. Like, I was starting to, Google how long can a sunburn last, because, yeah. apparently I'm not the only person who had that problem. There was some people who had really bad burns that said, yeah, the tan was still there like a year later, which it generally doesn't last that long for most people. I don't know. I guess some people have, their skin reacts differently. Yeah, I think we're getting into a bit of a shadow here or something on this pillar. We'll see. So it's getting kind of stripes here. So yeah, like I said, because it's sort of coming in sort of two directions there. Some of the stitches are going to get more closed in than others, but still trying to stick to these edges here. Hopefully you don't find it too confusing, but like I said, you don't have to follow my way, stitch your way. Yeah, I sure hope the wildfires settle down or get under control soon. This is nasty. I won't even complain too much because, I've seen the pictures in New York who are getting some of the worst of it. And, yeah, everything looks sepia toned. It's so much smoke. There's someone who said this guy looks like a spaghetti stained Tupperware, which is, yeah, kind of accurate. It's kind of orange colored. It's, ugh. But yeah, they said that they were having some of the worst air quality on the whole planet. Which is, yeah. Like, my throat's a little sore, but I'm lucky I don't have asthma or anything. I feel really bad for people who've got pre-existing respiratory problems, because this is not helping, that's for sure. I'm just going to take a peek at the mock-up here. View the mock-up. See exactly what I'm stitching. Oh yeah, so these are the grooves here. Oh yeah, I see this is getting into shadow there. Yeah, that's why the colors are combining like that. Okay, cool. Yeah. And we're gonna get into some more flowers too. All right, let's take a peek. All right, so I'm gonna add another thread, I think. So yeah, we're kind of spread out a bit, so. Actually, I'm going to put this color in my working tray for a while too. Yeah, so when my husband's away, I always cook seafood because yeah, he's not a big fan of it. So I have salmon, and then I have shrimp stir fry. 'Cause, yeah. Actually, our son enjoys salmon the way I make it too. You broil it with a little bit of cooking sherry. Yeah, it's really yummy. Okay, and other one of that same color. These ones aside, because yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to them. I'm going to sort of fill in this strip here before I head back up there. Yeah, this color kind of is spread out a lot, so we'll see how many threads we end up with. Picking up the wrong thread again. You have to be very careful. Pay close attention to what I'm doing. Like I said, when I end up with a sort of corner like this, it's gonna close in some stuff that's just unavoidable, but that's okay. This is the problem with the super short ones. They don't like to stay on the needle. Yeah, let's see, I might get a couple more stitches out of this. bit there. 5, 2, 4. Ooh. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, so still having a bit of a heat wave here. Hopefully it's supposed to break in a few days, so. Yeah, we'll see. We had families planning to come visit us later this summer, but depends on how the fire situation is. Yeah, wildfire season usually lasts until about September or October when it gets cooler and the snow flies, but yeah. We'll see. Like they said, this year is looking to be the worst one we've had. Oh yeah, we had really bad back in 2016. A lot of Fort McMurray burned to the ground. The whole place had to be evacuated. Yeah, it's not good. I think they said something like 3,000 structures were destroyed. Yeah, it was. Oh, they had videos of people had like from their dash cams of driving out of there in the evacuation, and it was like something out of a movie. Just the sky's red and ash falling, and oh my gosh. Yeah, I counted myself really fortunate that I wasn't part of that. Mostly here we just deal with smoke, or we get flooding sometimes. We had it, oh geez, a few years ago. Yeah, my husband called, said don't bother coming to work because it was completely flooded because we got a ton of rain and the system got overloaded, the drainage system got overloaded, and yeah, swept away dumpsters. There was a picture on the news of somebody's little car, little hatchback got, yeah, swept away, and yeah, it was wild. And then some people brought out their kayaks. It was just like such a Canadian thing to do. Oh dear. Yeah, again, we were fortunate where our house is on a tiny bit of a hill. Not much, but enough that we didn't get any flooding. Okay. sucked last time I got a sunburn. I couldn't stitch for a couple days either because the movement of my arms would make my shirt rub against the burned areas, and yeah, it hurt. So at least this time that's not an issue. It's a little warm to the touch, the areas that I burned, but it's not painful, so. Ooh. Oh, pardon me. So my last sort of strip here went really quickly because it was almost all just one color. Now this one is several blended together, so yeah, that takes a little longer. But now we're gonna get there. We are well past the halfway mark now, because that was like at 275 and this is like line 360, so yeah. Like I said, end of the summer, I think, to complete this first pass across the pattern is my estimate. We will see how close we get to that. There we go. Okay. That's all I'm gonna get out of that strand. Okay. Okay, 6, 4, 8. Oh, past 100 stitches already, so even though it was kind of confetti-ish, yeah, not bad. Yeah, then we're gonna get into some more flowers down here too, so. There we go. Okay, good. This is a long piece. Sometimes I highlight a whole run of stitches to do with something only to discover the piece of thread that's parked there is long enough for maybe a stitch or two. Yeah, so sort of once the colors stop slanting this way, I'm going to start probably working in diagonals my normal way until everything's back to that direction is what usually happens. Oop, that had a knot. Yeah, great big one. There we go. Fortunately, one that was easy to undo. actually am going to leave a gap here. Oh, goodness. Oh, that is no good. Huh. Okay. Oh, what a mess. Okay, hang on a minute. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just gonna... There's a whole whack of threads that got pulled loose here, so hang on a sec. Just gonna get this one to the front so that I'm not messing with it too. Oh my. How on earth did that get that tangled? Let's see if we can get it to pull back. Okay. Oh, I see. These got stitched sort of through each other here. That's what happened. Okay. All right, so yeah, that happens sometimes. Okay, so let's switch back to this color. Okay, what I'm gonna do is pull. Oh my gosh, yeah, I hate when this happens. Okay, there we go. There, yeah. Yeah, one drawback with parking, sometimes this happens. Colors get sort of, the strands get stitched through each other and then they won't pull taut up to the back of the fabric, and then so I had to just pull one back so that it wasn't stitched through that other one so that they can both be smoothed out. Okay, so this was right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's all nice and smooth on the back. Yeah. Okay, now we'll go back to this color. Forgot to color that one in, as I also stitched it. Okay. Yeah, so one of the threads was not quite pulled taut. I had a loop, and then when I stitched with another thread near it, the next one went right through those strands, and then, yeah, I was kind of anchoring it in the wrong point, so I couldn't pull it up taut to the fabric, so I had to pull the threads out of each other. Yeah, like I often say, stitching over threads is very secure because you discover when you try to undo it. So practically impossible. Okay. Okay. See how long this thread is up here. So again, going a bit out of order today. Just kind of more trouble to avoid it at this point, so I try not to leave gaps, but sometimes I do. I wanted to avoid adding another thread more than I wanted to avoid creating gaps, so I will close them in pretty soon. So, mark that there. Okay. Let's see how long this one part here is. I don't think it's very long. No, it is pretty short, yeah. Okay. Had gaps for a little bit, but then not anymore. Not really. Of course, like I said, there is some when it comes from sort of two different directions like this. That sort of happens, but that's okay. Okay, this one in the corner here. Oops. Okay. Might have to zoom in a bit more here because I keep on selecting the wrong color. Yeah, so I mentioned I had a problem with my ear a while back. I finally went to the doctor and did give me antibiotics, which I don't like taking, but oh well, what can you do? And I finished them up, and it is better. There isn't pressure or pain, but it's still not 100%. So sometimes I feel almost like you know when you have a microphone and air's blowing over it? That's what it sounds like in one ear sometimes. Yeah. Pretty frustrating. And it's not a steady sound. I said it's like Morse code in my ear, so yeah, it's irritating. It'll happen for a day, then it'll go away for a couple days, and it kind of comes back, and yeah. So, doctor said there's not really much they can do at this point. It's sometimes, even after the actual infection is gone, it still has fluid in there, and yeah. At this point, it's not bad enough that they're going to try and do anything to drain it yet. But if it gets worse, then yeah. Yeah, pretty annoying though. Just have to try and ignore it. Oh dear. Yeah, I kind of joked if it was steady, it would be almost like having built-in brown noise in my ear, but it's not, unfortunately. Or it's almost like that in the movie Independence Day. The signal they first heard? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Not quite as loud, but yeah. Yeah, they made a sequel to that a few years back. They said, yeah, they've been asking Will Smith to come back for 20 years to recap his role, and he didn't do it, so they finally just made the sequel movie without him. Because, yeah, they managed to get back a lot of people. Bill Pullman came back, Jeff Goldblum, the actor who plays his dad. Gosh, I'm so bad with names, I can't remember, but yeah, he came back, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay. Whew. Nope. Tried to get that out still threaded, but it was not going to cooperate. Oh, come on. Nope. Yeah, it was just too fuzzy and that was not happening. I guess with working in this direction and always parking in the upper right corner, I guess I'm coming up in empty holes more than what I usually do. Yeah. Just got so used to parking that way that even though I know technically I'm coming up in a hole that already has thread in it, or a dirty hole as they call it sometimes, yeah, I think if I tried to change it now, I would mix myself up. Oh my gosh. Are you going to work with me or against me? There we go. So yeah, I think that still looks pretty neat, the stitches. Could add another thread, but I'm gonna just try to keep it to just a couple here for now. see how long this one here is. So yeah, as I said, you can see this stitch is closed in a little bit more because of the way the two lines are kind of coming together, but that's okay. So yeah, I don't mind multiple threads, but when I can keep them to a minimum without too much fuss, then I do that. Okay, so just gonna check both threads that I've attached here. Yeah, okay. Okay, nice. Oh, look at that. We're about to pass 200 stitches. Nice. That went by pretty quick. Okay. Okay, let's see how long this piece is. Yeah, it's long enough that I'm gonna see if I can avoid adding another. So let's do some other colors around it first. Yeah, so didn't have to add another strand for this one. Make sure I'm grabbing the right thread there. Okay. Put that right there. Yeah, I had a feeling I'd pulled that a little too hard and unthreaded it, darn. I was hoping I was wrong. Oh, that did not. Great, I can see this. The leg of this stitch here is, yeah, came up in the wrong spot on the fabric. There we go. There, made that top leg of that stitch a little wider than it should have been. There we are. Might be able to get those last 3 stitches out of it, we will see. Actually, there's a couple more I can do with this color. Oh, I missed one. Yep. Just realized. Yeah, I colored that in as done, but it actually wasn't. Okay. There, now it matches. goodness. I'm threading my needles again. Get into some different colors here because there's some flowers here. Pardon me. Okay. Look at that, 249. So I think I'm going to stitch one more, which is right here, and park it, and that'll be a nice round number to stop on. So yeah, even though we had to switch colors a fair bit down this strip, it actually went pretty quickly. Quite happy with that. So yeah, I feel it went more quickly than if I tried to force the stitching to go in my normal direction for my diagonals. So like I often say, I follow the colors and let them guide me into where I'm going to stitch next. So there we go. So 250 even. Awesome. So nice productive session today. So as usual, thank you so much for joining me today, and hope to see you here again another time. Right, thanks everyone. Bye.